Hello everyone, Khalior here. I think it's time for me to be a little bit more serious about the content creation thing. Where's my head at right now? What are my plans? What are we doing here? I think we can do these kinds of videos annually just to keep myself accountable for what I'm doing here and where I'm going. Word of warning, of course, these things can be quite wordy, like most of my content, so I keep reminding you that I have timestamps in the description. There's also a nifty little option on YouTube to increase the speed of videos. So with that, let's dig in. First and foremost, the thing that I want to make sure everyone understands above everything that I'm about to say here is I'm going to continue to cover Bloodhunt. I've said this multiple times that I'm going to be covering this game up until the servers are unplugged. And while that's a very bold statement to make, you know, sometimes things change, your state of mind is different, you gain a new perspective, makes you see things differently. You suddenly have a new approach, new objectives, your priorities need to shift, and now you're no longer presenting the kind of content or focus that you've been known for and that people are counting on when they decide to click on something with your name on it. It happens, you know, it happens. But in case of Bloodhunt, that hasn't changed. I still think that the game is fantastic. It's unique. There's nothing else in the market that even comes close to it. I think it deserves love. I think it deserves praise. I think more people should play it. I think we should get ourselves an army of people convinced that the game needs more update and development. And at the right time, we make an impactful, numbers-based statement that Shark Mob won't be able to ignore, and eventually they will do something more with the game. So in that respect, I am still going to be there and representing the game and helping out the community. The long-term objective that we can have in the future is Exoborne, Shark Mob's next game and probably the biggest game of the Swedish studio. My hypothesis and hope is that a success with Exoborne will eventually, in one or many different forms, be a success for Bloodhunt. Maybe that will just be in the form of, hey, more people know about Bloodhunt, or people will discover that Bloodhunt is still up and that the game launch issues have been fixed and it's still a decent game, and as a result of that, we get more players. Maybe it's just that. I am hoping for more, but that is just a hope. A hope that may never happen if we're being realistic, but I am choosing to keep that hope to keep me going. It may never happen, and I'm also going to be ready for that eventuality if Exoborne becomes mega successful and nothing happens with Bloodhunt. It is possible. The community still needs to have things to look forward to, because just playing the game for the sake of playing the game isn't enough to muster any kind of interest. We saw that when there was the announcement of the end of the development of the game. Many people dropped the game then and there because the possibility of the game having a future beyond the final update was dropping to 0%, and therefore it was a smart decision from them to invest their time and money into another game. It is totally understandable. So, not going anywhere with Bloodhunt. May not be so pedal to the metal when it comes to content, because like every good thing, it's best to consume in moderation, and that's what I'm going to do. You might have noticed in the last few months that I have been switching up the content a little bit, experimenting, setting myself some different expectations when it comes to myself and my content and my stream and my YouTube, etc. And now I feel a little bit more confident about branching out to other content. The idea is that close to half of the content that I will work on will be Bloodhunt related. Now, that comes with a caveat. The time that I spend on content creation also includes all the stuff that I'm doing off camera. I spend a lot of time planning and organizing and having meetings and scheduling, etc., etc., etc. I should be counting this as time being spent on content creation because it's like a second job. So if you see less video content related to Bloodhunt, I want to assure everyone, I want everyone to rest assured that it means that I'm cooking off camera. When I will be done with Bloodhunt, trust me, you will know. Moving on. Some people have been asking, will I be looking into other battle royales or generic team shooters? No. I'm about having fun, and these categories or genres of games aren't fun for the most part, or require more like lightning quick reflexes that I honestly don't have. I play games to have fun or laugh or be entertained. And the ultra serious gray on black on dark green camo military complex industrial warehouse shooting games are the equivalent of the most 3-day-old unpalatable cold unsweetened bowl of oatmeal that you could find. And I understand that for some people or companies, these games are the paper mache construct that somehow manages to glue together and capture a lot of revenue from gamers who like to eat the cheapest kind of cardboard tasting pizza that they can afford. But that's not the type of entertainment experience that I want to have in the very limited time that I have on this plane of existence. But for the games that I want to play, I think I'm going to be mostly a variety streamer when it comes to games other than Bloodhunt. I think it's good for me at this point to continue with the one game that people know me for, but not go all in on another game and give it the coverage that I've been giving Bloodhunt. I won't have the time or energy to do that. If ever I find one day a game that enthralls me as much as Bloodhunt, yes, it's going to be a time to reevaluate my priorities. But looking at the game market's future right now, I don't see anything that makes me feel like I need to do a 180 on what I'm telling you right now. Which brings me to the topic of Exoborne. It's a game from Sharkmob. Khalior, we're expecting you to shill for free for them with their new game, right? First of all, huh? Second of all, and without breaking the NDA I've signed, at this moment in time, I think that with all the gameplay footage that's been released, you can already get a glimpse of what the game will look and feel, and you can already know if it's a game that's going to be for you or not. Now, I will be playing the game, but not to the extent that I've been playing Bloodhunt. While you can see elements from Bloodhunt in the gameplay footage, it's got a very different look and feel, and it's not really my thing. Now, I will elaborate more on that when the game is out. Just know that I won't be super invested in it. I will cover it like I've been doing these last few months, just enough to be able to remind people that this studio has made this awesome free-to-play vampire game Bloodhunt. Come play it. A fun fact, I actually had started preparing some kind of solution where I would be able to cover both Sharkmob games together and really go into detail with Exoborne and actually also shoot my shot at becoming a big content creator for Exoborne. But it's missing something for me to really commit to it. For other games, I understand that it's not everybody everybody from the Bloodhunt crowd that will follow me across all the different games I'm going to be featuring or trying out, and I understand that. We all have different interests, and we choose the content that we want to watch from different content creators for different reasons. So, no expectations from all of you. I'll be glad and happy if you can at least allow yourself to be curious and take a peek at other games with me. There's so many games out there, and I'm looking to have a good time or have gaming experiences that we don't often encounter. There will be some hits, there will be some misses, but at least I'll be going for things that are different. In terms of other expectations from me, streaming schedule. My life is so erratic that I cannot commit to a streaming schedule. The only spot that I can be mostly sure that I'll be streaming is Friday morning right before work. If ever there is a week that I can post a streaming schedule, I will. Otherwise, make sure you have notifications on or join my Discord. All my tweets, all my live notifications on Twitch are automatically posted there. The links to all of that should be in the description. Posting on YouTube, kind of the same thing. I can't commit to a posting schedule. I can't commit to also posting everything. For instance, if I play a game that ends up being a dud, probably won't be posting the video for it. Games that I turn into Let's Plays of many parts, working on that. I know that the correct content creator thing is to make sure you release a series with regular posts, but I can't commit to that, and I don't know when I'll ever be able to. Also, learning about video editing, baby steps. Can't promise you're going to see Markiplier level type of video quality. I'm a slow learner on a very tight timetable, so there's going to be improvements, but they will come very slowly. Which brings me to mention that everything I've been doing so far since 2022, I've all been doing this by myself. Can't hire any help because I have no streaming or YouTube income to cover for any extra costs, because all I'm already getting is not even covering all I've invested into making all of this happen. Another point is, at some point in the future, I still intend on getting into the whole process of coming up with some proper branding, finally. That will make it official that I'm a serious content creator. I'm the kind of person that wants to make sure I actually deliver on content, quality, and I'm a creator who's actually invested in what they're doing before I make the branding. Also, when streaming, you never know exactly how you're going to be. So it felt like it was a good idea to just like let the process happen naturally before I sit down and think like, okay, who is Khalior, the content creator? You know, what's his angle? These days we see the opposite. People who deliver a very nice presentation and aesthetics that make them seem like serious content creators, and then we discovered that they're unable to deliver. They lack commitment. They go very long periods of time before you hear from them again, and even then they don't bother to let people know about what's going on. And we all realize it's just been a lot of marketing efforts to produce a somewhat empty shell, and I never wanted to be that. Another thing is that in a past life, I've worked in a marketing agency that specializes in rebranding companies. So I've had some experience in building that from the ground up. So I want to use these skills and knowledge that I've gathered from that experience and see if I can figure this out myself. Like, know no generic graphic artist on Twitch or Twitter will convince me to give in to their extremely generic products. So, branding eventually in the future, collecting notes on the side. On that note, with or without proper branding, I might be getting into sponsorships. However, I think I might want to be a little bit more sure that I can deliver on those. So I will be setting myself some objectives in terms of stats, like for example, like a certain number of consistent, concurrent Twitch subscriptions. I don't know exactly yet for YouTube. But yeah, have that before I start going in that direction. Sponsored content, however, yeah, there's a lot of promos out there waiting for content creators. Like just off the bat, I've got Stream Elements, Keymailer, Lurkit, Drope. They have a ton of promotional content. I'll be looking into these with like 3 different objectives. New games to try out, to see if I improve with dealing with sponsorship content while I'm still remaining myself, and maybe actually making some money out of it, but that's not a given with content creation anymore in 2024. Counterpoint to all of this. While this is all super interesting to me and I still want to do that, I can get a little too much invested in the content creation, and therefore I can lose myself into it and forget to take care of myself. I'm the type of person who can very easily come up with a lot of ideas and plans, but I have little to show for it because I burn myself out. I run out of time because I spend too much time doing administration and project management, and then I have the actual capacity to get content out there. It's not a question of like lack of interest or passion. It's a question of time and energy management, and I need to improve in that direction or I'll die before I reach 60. I would love to do so much more for the Bloodhunt community. I believe that there's so much more content to be made out of this game for both gaming and entertainment purposes. There's so many untapped veins of content that no one has bothered to touch because Bloodhunt dead game, or because some people are trying to capitalize on the wrong things or are betting all their money on the same content angle, hoping that one day it'll make it big, but they can't be bothered to see all the other unexplored potential because that would mean different kinds of efforts and different kinds of areas, and most people are lazy by default. If I can critique my efforts for just a second, my content right now is the equivalent of trying to board up a sinking community and seeing that I can't maintain this ship by myself. And there's plenty of other tasks that could be done to keep the boat afloat and moving. And I've been yelling about it for about 1.5 years to a crew that, in my eyes, it's just kind of standing there on the boat and barely doing anything. I'm sorry if that kind of statement offends you, and if it does, but it's one of the different points of view that someone could have about what I'm doing. I'll get off my soapbox now. In general, and I've been saying this to a few people recently, I would love to be 100% in content creation and getting paid for it, or just not having to worry about money and just be non-stop creative. But in 2024, that's not something realistic for a small potato like me, short of winning a multi-million-dollar lottery. Another topic that I'd like to touch on a video about what happened to Bloodhunt. I've been talking about making that video for a long time. The thing is, in my head, I've been wanting to make a whole kind of video essay on it so it becomes like the be-all, end-all on Bloodhunt. But again, time, commitment that I can't afford currently. So I might end up making a small video that's just straightforward, not too long, with some gameplay footage, and then later on one day I'll make the whole video essay thing. Speaking of commitment, October schedule, working on it right now. Trying to make it big and strike a balance between Bloodhunt content and my own content. I want to give as much as possible for the Bloodhunt community, but I also want to play a few games for my channel. I already have a lineup all ready to go for my channel, and yes, there will be a hidden object game, and yes, it would involve drinking. Bloodhunt is going to take a lot of planning to make happen, and I hope more people in the community will want to help out or organize things themselves. After October, as it happened last year, I will very, very likely be MIA, save for a few streams, hosting fun events, but I will probably be unavailable to help set up any events in November and December. So if you're expecting or hoping for events during these 2 months, start thinking about it, because I won't be able to help plan those things. Next thing will probably be a little event for the holidays with lots of codes to be determined. So in that respect, I'm also working on making some event templates to be able to distribute to the Bloodhunt community for everyone to play around with and set up their own events. To be continued. Yeah, so that's it right now. You know everything that I've got in my head currently, and I will probably continue to function that way until next summer, where I'll be able to reevaluate what's happening with me and then come up with another little video like this one. That being said, I'd love to hear your feedback, so feel free to give it to me. Yeah, I love the content creator life, the streamer life. I am a creative person and entertainer at heart, and I hope I'm gonna be able to continue. So I hope that you stick around as I figure a way for me through this. So thank you for listening, and take care, everybody.